Hi, my name is Devin, and I'm going to be following up Josh's submarine depth control video with how to create this block diagram in Simulink. First things first, we open up MATLAB and click on the Simulink button, which opens a Simulink library. We create a new model, which will open up a blank workspace. If we take a look at the components of the block diagram, we see we have an input, an adder, and a gain for the first three components. The input is a minus 200 step function. So going back to MATLAB Simulink, we could go to sources in the Simulink library, find the step function block, and just drag it into the blank workspace. Double clicking on the block, we could change its final value to be a negative 200. Next, we need to find the adder. The adder is going to be in the math operations section of the Simulink library. Once we found it, we could just drag it, and we need to change it to a negative feedback loop by just changing it from a plus plus to a plus minus. We could then connect these 2 points together. In the block diagram, we have two gains. So we could go and find the gain, which is also in the math operations section, drag it into the workspace, drag another one, and rotate it using Control R. We could connect the adder to the gain. Like so. Next, we see we have a transfer function followed by an integrator. So going back to the MATLAB library, or the Simulink library, we could go to the continuous section, add the transfer function, and follow it by the integrator. For the transfer function, we see it's s squared plus 2s plus 1 over s squared plus 0.1. So we go click on the transfer function and only add the coefficients of those values, like so. Hit apply, we can see our transfer function change into the one matching exactly like the one given. We could proceed by connecting the gain to the transfer function and the transfer function to the integrator. Next, we need an output, a mux, and a scope. The output could be found in the ports and the subsystems folder. Just a simple out command, out box. We could just drag it, connect it to the output. Next, we need to add a mux. The mux is going to be in the signal routing section. We could just add that here. Now the mux is used to analyze the input and the output on the same graph. To do so, we need a scope. The scope is under the sinks file. You could just grab it, connect the scope, connect one of the muxes to the output and the other port of the mux to the input. So we also need to connect the gain of 1 into the loop and connect it to the negative side of the adder. Next, we need another scope in order to analyze the angle of the submarine. And we just add a scope and connect it down. Now we could run this system, and if we double click on it, this graph would pop up. If we just auto scale it, this is our result. This represents our input, and this represents our output, which is what the submarine is doing. And next, Jaime will explain all the different values of gain and the analysis for each.